Hello and welcome to the British Gaming Podcast. It's the 11th of September, somehow. I'm Sam Webster. Over there is Terry Kane.
Hey.
So, you put the topic list together. What are we talking about?
Well, we got our staples. What have we been playing? This time, I've actually got a random question of the week.
Hey,
Hey.
shaking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got PlayStation Now is streaming the future. PlayStation Pro, what's new? Is it worth the extra cost? What's good and bad? And we've got our fan questions of the week.
So basically, it's very heavily formed around the PlayStation conference.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm just going to clarify for listeners at home. Me asking him what we're talking about doesn't mean that I don't know what we're talking about, although largely that is true. It's just a common courtesy and being polite, which apparently I'm capable of.
Yeah, he's learning.
Slowly. But no, so what have you been playing then, mate?
What I've been playing. Well, I finally got a copy of Pokemon Leaf Green again after ordering it about 2 months ago on eBay. It finally came through, and
Jesus.
yeah, I know it took absolutely ages. And the guy was like, "Well, it takes ages because I'm getting them imported." I was like, "Oh God, this is sounding dodgy," but it came in the end, and I looked all over it. I was like, "It looks genuine. It looks genuine, and it works well." I'm just like, I'm hoping it is genuine. I can't really tell.
Have you looked at the board?
What, inside?
Yeah.
I really don't want to open it up.
Okay. Even if you don't want to open it up, the actual proper boards have the Nintendo logo on them in, I believe it's the bottom left-hand corner. And where it's positioned, if you tilt the cartridge just right, you can see the bottom of the Nintendo logo near the contacts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Usually a pretty decent way of checking. I mean, I assume you looked at, obviously, it's the right shell color and it's
Oh, yeah.
the right weight sticker, it's got the holographic where it should, and
Yeah.
has it got the serial number imprinted? Because that should be dented in a little bit.
Whereabouts is that?
Bottom of the label.
Um, Shit. I think it might not be genuine.
No.
Oh.
Ah. Oh well, it runs.
Yeah, it
That's
runs.
something.
Yeah, I forgot how much nicer it is than the original versions. I mean, I remember you did your remade, repackaged, rebooted. Holy crap, I just plugged for you.
Plug, plug, plug.
And yeah, I I definitely agree that the upgrades that were done were very well needed. Um,
It's one of those where once you've played the remake, you genuinely cannot go back to the original.
exactly. Speaking of Game Boy Advance remakes, I've also been playing Metroid Zero Missions, and
Oh, right, after your experience with AM2R.
yeah, pretty much. AM2R just gave me a proper taste of Metroid. Then I was just like, why did I not play these games years ago? So now I'm playing them, and I think
Which is weird, because I watched Some Call Me Johnny's review of AM2R, and he repeatedly says through that due to the difficulty and it assuming knowledge on the player's part of the mechanics, to not play that as your first Metroid game, to play literally any other Metroid game,
hmm,
except Other M, um, before playing AM2R.
right. I mean, I've sort of played through Cave Story before, so I've played a Metroidvania game before, so I guess that kind of gave me enough sort of to go on.
Oh, that was your primer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
And let's see. So there was Metroid, Pokemon Leaf Green, finished Pokemon X the other day, and my God, the Elite Four in that are just piss easy. But
Yeah, because I still Pokemon X is one of those games I put it down ages ago and I still haven't picked it back up.
yeah, that game lasted me a good while for in regards to going back and forth between playing it and not playing it. But
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. After years of just kind of like, I never got into Diamond and Pearl, although I've heard good things about them. Black and White is just like the mediocre like stepchild of the series. But I don't know.
Red-headed stepchild.
Huh?
Red-headed stepchild. Okay,
Red-headed?
that's the phrase, isn't it?
Oh,
Red-headed stepchild.
is it?
Yeah.
Uh, oh, what? Based on that film Problem Child?
I don't know where it came from.
I don't know.
We're not getting into colloquialisms and trivia. It's bad enough when we veer off from video games to comic books.
That is
The
true.
formation of the English language is not on the list.
No, we shouldn't be cunning linguists. What else? Off the top of my head, those are the things that stood out that I've been playing. I mean, I've been playing other little bits and pieces here and there. Like, as we're going to discuss later on, I tried out some stuff on PlayStation Now. So, yeah, what about you?
Dead Rising 2, which is easier than I remember it being.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oddly. I don't know if it's just I'm remembering more than I thought I would, or whether I'm remembering difficulty from the first game as opposed to the second game. The first game, actually, the re-release for PS4 is out in 2 days. So by the time people are listening to this, it'll be like 24 hours. And my pre-order will ship from... It's an American pre-order shipping from Asia. Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, I remember you saying last time about all the faff you had to go through to get a physical copy.
Yeah, in the end, I had to go to PlayAsia, and it was £15.80 something for the actual game, about another £4 or so for shipping. I had a surprise £4 in my PayPal account that I didn't know about, so that took care of the shipping. So I essentially paid the digital download price for the physical copy. Now, I don't know when it'll get here. It quotes 30 calendar days for shipping as a maximum. It could be quicker than that, but as a maximum. And also, it might get delayed going through customs or whatever if they hold it up or anything like that. I'm actually waiting at the moment on customs the other end because I've spent most of the week not playing games, but instead there's been a lot of stuff going on post the Kickstarter actually going out to people. Like you, Richie, a few other people have sent me photos of your rewards actually arriving. And I'm just kind of nervously waiting for the first American or Italian, or there was a Russian who backed it as well, just waiting for one of the international ones to say, hey, I got mine, and then I'll feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Sonic, I played some Sonic 1 with my daughter yesterday. She can complete Green Hill Zone Act 1 on her own now.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's good. We were taking it in turns, and then I accidentally unlocked the Fast Green Hill trophy for her.
Huh.
Oops. So yeah, I've not really played a lot, to be honest with you, this week.
Anything for our next top 10?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been playing a couple for our top 10. I've actually got the shortlist worked out because I'm actually collaborating on this one with a couple of people.
Oh, you're cheating. Okay.
Well, no, because, I mean, you know how it's on that Team Chat channel that me and Peter and the guys are collaborating with? I was just like, well, do you guys want to get on this? It's your channel as well. And they're like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, and surprisingly, we seem to basically have the same taste in racing games, so that kind of helps as well.
Yeah. I've been recording footage. I also started recording footage from a fighting game in anticipation of one of them at some point being a top 10 fighting games. I've already worked out a list for a top 10 fighting game, so if Richie hasn't joined us by the time this next one goes out, the choice will be thrown back to me and I'll pick fighting games.
Fair play.
That's my strategy.
Oh, man. When we do top 10 fighting games, I'm just thinking which of the Tekkens is going to make it on my list.
I already know which one you're going to pick.
You reckon?
Tekken Tag.
No.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But every time we fought each other, you've always insisted on Tekken Tag.
I think Tekken Tag is the best multiplayer one, but I don't know. When it comes to like how the game's handle and stuff, I quite like Tekken 4 in terms of how it handles the best, but it's got the smallest character roster, so that puts me off that a little bit.
Oh shit, yeah. That's reminded me. This week I picked up Capcom vs SNK 2 and Tekken 4. We were talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You played those at all yet?
Yeah, I played through Tekken 4 once as Kazuya just to unlock Jin.
Mm.
Then remembered that Jin doesn't have his Tekken 3 fighting style in this. He's got that weird Kazama hybrid style in this one.
Yeah, like a mixture of Jun Kazama's moves with a bit of karate.
Yeah, and then and he wears that fucking stupid hoodie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing. So then I've been playing a lot of Capcom versus SNK 2 just because now that I've got the PS2 through proper component on a TV that upscales really nicely,
Mm.
it looks so crisp and pretty.
Oh yeah, because it supports progressive scan.
Oh yes, progressive scan runs at a blinding rate. It's so good, and the difficulty curve is just right. Like the first 3 rounds, I was like, "Yeah, I'm a badass. Yeah, I'm kicking your motherfucking ass. Yeah." Did well enough that what's his name? Blonde guy, one of the end bosses.
On the
He
end
turned up before the final stage as here comes the new challenger. Geese? Is that his name, Geese?
There's a Steve in it.
No, it's not a Steve. Pretty sure it's Geese.
All right.
Yeah, as in the bird.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so he turned up and beat him, and it went to the final round, and that was a very, very close fight. That was, I got a hit, they got a hit, I got a hit, they got a hit. And then they cancelled out. I can finally do supers. Like, I've never been able to do supers until recently. And suddenly I finished the story mode on Street Fighter V during the past week. And that's when I finally got the Ryu's super, the quarter circle, strong punch. Like super Hadouken thing with all the flashing and everything. Yeah, I can finally pull that off. Not quite at will yet. It's still about a 50% success rate for whether the move comes out, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like I pulled off my first one. I was just like, yeah, go me. So yeah, and I think that's also why I'm on a high of the next one has to be fighting games after racing games, and I'm going to start recording footage now. It's just because I'm playing a lot of them lately.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be so hard to choose which Tekken. 4 is my favorite gameplay wise, but roster wise, it's so small.
What about 6?
6 annoys me because of the fact that everyone's unlocked straight away, so it gives me little incentive to play through each story.
Okay, and is it 5 that's supposedly the black sheep?
I liked 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I followed it quite religiously up to 3, and then it's like most PlayStation 1 trilogies. It had a 4, 5, and 6, but I didn't really, follow it. I'd sort of drifted by that point. I think I was on Soul Calibur by the time Tekken 4 and 5 were doing the rounds.
Oh, God, yeah, that's a...
there's an entry, write that down.
Yeah. I think I know which Soul Calibur is going to make both our lists.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
That's not a spoiler. Anyone who even remotely knows me knows it's 2.
Same, exactly. I know which version of 2 you're going to choose.
HD Online for PS3.
Oh, really? I was going to say GameCube.
No. I've got the GameCube version still, and it's cool that it's got Link in it.
Yeah.
But no, not my favorite version. It was my favorite version when you're looking at the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, and the GameCube, although Heihachi was arguably a better fit for the universe than Link was, even though Link's weaponry is quite a nice fit. Because of the GameCube, it seemed to, and this might just be my perception, I've got nothing to prove or back this up, so I'm probably going to get flayed in the comments for this. The GameCube one seemed to run more smoothly, and it seemed to be prettier. I don't know if it was outputting at a higher resolution, or whether it was outputting in progressive scan, or what, but yeah. I got the impression that it was prettier and ran at a higher frame rate. I could be wrong.
Well, GameCube did have objectively better hardware than the PlayStation 2.
Right, I could be right then. But then the HD Online version came out and just no fucking contest.
But then I'd imagine the Xbox version probably ran better as well, but then nobody cared about the Xbox version because who cares about Spawn?
Nobody cared about the Xbox in general, the very first one, anyway. It was just a laughing stock for having giant controllers. And then they made some new controllers that were too small.
I don't know. Look at the Halo 2 hype.
True.
I had an Xbox for a while, and I like multi-platform games like Burnout 3, for instance. My God, that ran beautifully on Xbox.
Granted. The only thing I was sad about with Xbox was a lot of Sega franchises seem to go that way. You know, Jet Set Radio Future, Toe Jam and All 3.
Crazy Taxi 3, Shenmue 2, Panzer Dragoon Auto.
Well, no, I'm not too worried about Shenmue 2 because I've got the Dreamcast version.
Yeah, true.
Which is arguably... I would say the Dreamcast version is better because you can import your save from the first game into the second game, which you can't do on the Xbox version because you can't get the first game on the Xbox. Although the movie they gave you with it to cover the events of Shenmue 1 was quite a nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we've gone off on a tangent already. What was your question of the week?
Okay, so if you could have any franchise have a mascot kart racer come out, which one would you choose and why?
Any franchise?
Yeah, any game franchise.
Okay. Let me think. Obviously, Sonic's already got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd quite like to see... And this is... I'm torn between two franchises here.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see... Can I give two answers?
Yeah, go for it. To be honest, like, I'd want to know anyway. I'd be like, oh, what's that other one?
True. So the first one is a Street Fighter one. Simply because it would have a big roster. There's a lot of unique characters. It's obvious who would be the all-rounders, Ryu, Ken. It's obvious who would be the slow but heavies, Hai, Honda, Blanca, Zangief. I think you could get some good, like, power-ups and stuff for it. Like, imagine Hadoukening someone from a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool. So I think that would lend itself well, and I also think Capcom wouldn't resist the urge to put in, you know, like Darkstalkers characters and stuff as well.
Yeah, and maybe like Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man as an unlockable, and yeah, it'd probably become more of a Capcom racing game, but like primarily the cast of Street Fighter as the main lot. I think that could do quite well. The other one, because again, it's got a very wide, varied cast of characters. I think the developers could do a good job of it, and it's already quite crazy and out there to begin with. Time Splitters.
Oh, hell yeah, that would be amazing.
Can you imagine? That art style already lends itself to it.
It really does.
And you could have, like, you can already play as monkeys, so... monkeys, robots, all sorts.
Yeah. Oh, you know, when you said Street Fighter, it just reminded me of the fact that there's that kart racing mode in Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
You see, it's because you gifted me that game on my birthday, and it's the fact that kart mode exists that had me thinking Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would yours be?
Funny thing is, I thought of a question, but not an answer to my own question. Give me a... I don't know. Let's see. Game franchises. Looking at the old shelf.
It's gonna pick the first thing you see. It's just gonna be like, Oddworld. Oddworld Abe's kart racing.
I can picture it, to be fair.
Resident Evil. Nemesis in a go-kart.
Oh, no, you know what? I thought of one the other day, actually. Valve Kart Racer. Like, all the Valve characters from, like, Half-Life and Portal and Team Fortress and stuff.
I'm surprised I haven't done that already.
I know, right? Like, I can imagine it fitting. I mean, hell, the Team Fortress 2 characters are already in All-Stars Racing Transformed on PC.
True, and it's like, if they did bloody Poker Night with Valve characters, you'd think that poker before kart racing?
Yeah.
Come on. It's not hard.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm saying it like making a decent kart racing game isn't hard. It is,
Yeah.
but they've got all the ingredients. They just need to make the pie.
Exactly. I mean, Gordon Freeman already has a vehicle anyway, so that can just be reused from Half-Life 2.
Oh, can you imagine getting the crowbar as a pickup?
Oh, yeah.
Then it becomes Road Rash. Gordon Freeman in Road Rash 15. Or the gravity gun. It's like, if someone's ahead of you, you activate the gravity gun and it just pulls their car back towards yours.
Portal gun.
Yes!
Oh.
Then you could be like Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, shit.
Behind you! Zip! In front of you!
Yeah, and hell, tracks could already just like have some portals in them for like shortcut routes and stuff.
Oh, what about a track around a giant GLaDOS?
Oh man.
Yeah, so you saw like just doing spirals and stuff around the arching body.
Yeah, GLaDOS is modified to be a cart as well.
Someone riding GLaDOS as a motorcycle.
Oh my god.
Okay, I like that question. That was a fun question. You can do this again.
All right.
Yeah.
So
PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
You tried it. I almost tried it. Like, I managed to... The first day I tested it, it says you've got to have a minimum 5 Mbps. So the first day I tried to test it, it gave me the connection test and said, no, not a chance. We're not even going to let you try. Which is good. At least it means they're not selling something to people who can't use it.
Yeah.
And I did a speed test, and I had about 2.8 Mbps down and about 0.3 up. I tested it again yesterday, and I had 4.8 Mbps down and 0.8 up. So I thought, well, that's got to be close enough to 5. Nope.
No.
No.
To be honest, I think that minimum of 5 is bullshit anyway. I mean, I'm on a 70 meg connection, and as soon as like my parents went on Netflix in the other room while I was while I was giving it a try, the connection just dropped horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm on a 70 megabit connection and with 5 meg upload, and like it just basically rinsed my connection.
So that has to be the only thing you're doing in the household at that time.
Pretty much, yes. It really does. So at the moment, with the fact that a decent connection isn't standard everywhere, I don't think it's going to be a standard for replacement. However, based on the fact that we've seen like Netflix, for instance, become massive, I think in time this is something that can really catch on.
You see, I'm very, very, very interested, but at the same time, I'm in this position where I can't. Like, there are a lot of games on there I want to play. Annoyingly enough, I watched The Completionist, his God of War trilogy, all of it.
Oh yeah,
and which is weird because the first one is really quite old on his channel now.
huh?
And the format's almost completely different compared to when he did God of War 3, when he did the remastered PS4 version.
Yeah.
And while I didn't get along with Ascension at all, and it put me off the series, it said multiple times in that review that Ascension is the worst God of War, generally speaking. That's sort of the consensus.
Wow.
Yeah, so I sort of want to try it again, and I know all of them are on PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
So I want to try the Sly Cooper trilogy. Set of platformers, PS2 era, sounds like it'd be right up my street. All 4 games are on PlayStation Now.
Yeah, that was one of the games I actually gave a try, and yeah, I can see it being your thing, definitely.
But at the same time, I'm looking at this thinking, well, it's $12.99 a month, right? I can pick up God of War Ascension on disc for about £3. I can pick up God of War 3 for about £4. I can pick up each of the HD collections, one with 1 and 2, and one with Chains of Olympus and Ghosts of Sparta, for between £8 and £10 each.
Yeah.
The Sly Cooper trilogy, that was recently on sale on the PlayStation Store for $7.99. I've already got Sly 4, apparently, from PlayStation Plus, and I just forgot I had it. So yeah, on the one hand, I'm thinking this is a huge library of games with a lot of things I really want to try out. On the other hand, I'm thinking it won't be one-to-one to the performance it'd be off a disc.
Definitely
Uh,
not, no.
no. And equally, those discs aren't expensive. I could probably, within 3 months of subscription, and it'd probably take me 3 months to get through all those games with my other commitments, I could take that 36 quid and buy copies that I get to keep forever.
Yeah.
You know? It's not a killer app at the moment. I can see the appeal. I want to play with the 7-day free trial, but I doubt I'd keep it on past that.
I think one of the key things though is you can play all these games without actually owning a PlayStation console.
Yeah, true, because I've brought it to PC now.
Exactly, it's on PC, it's on Sony smart TVs and smart Blu-ray players.
And this is the thing. It would be interesting to have had Richie here for this discussion because he didn't buy a PlayStation 3 last generation. He did miss out on a lot of exclusives that are now. I think the Ratchet and Clanks are even on PlayStation now, aren't they?
Apart from the HD trilogy, yeah.
Yeah. So this would probably be really good for him to catch up on all the exclusives and franchises from last gen that he missed out on. You know, for the cost of buying a PlayStation 3 in the games or getting remasters on a PS4 versus the cost of this subscription, you know, you could have this for 6 months, spend about 70 all in, play it all, and then just drop the subscription.
That's exactly it. I mean, hell, if you've got a lot of free time for like a month, like, and you just want to do gaming, then like just a month.
Yeah.
True. I mean, it's a thing where like you could just get a month's worth because there's no thing to sort of tie you into a contract for a year or anything like that, and you could just try out bits and pieces of what you want and just to see what you think. You can basically dip your toe in essentially, and if you decide, oh, you know what, these seem all kind of cool, then that might end up getting people to buy PlayStation 3s.
Well, when I wasn't earning as much, basically, I used to have this subscription service. It was £8 a month, and it was from Love Film, but it was for games.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and they sent out like 2 discs a month. So it's, you know, you don't have to worry about the postal service, and you've got a much bigger selection that you can swap between at any time for slightly more. It's, what is it, $12.99.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you don't have to worry about like waiting for them all to download, install, and all that faff about. You just go on the menu, press play, and then it's just running.
Yeah, I mean, you tried King of Fighters 13 for the first time.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that actually was running perfectly fine. I mean, there was a couple of moments where the picture quality degraded, but the actual responsiveness was still about as close to one-to-one as you can get on a streaming service like that, and that actually satisfied me because I was just like, okay, I'm glad they're putting responsiveness above, you know, graphical fidelity. I mean,
oh yeah, that's the right call. Gameplay first, looks second.
I mean, that's why I always harp on about frame rate, because as far as I'm concerned, frame rate is crucial to gameplay, because frame rate equals responsiveness.
True.
So,
well, can I ask a question on that?
Yeah.
Why the hell has it taken you, a fighting game fan who eats, breathes, and sleeps fighting games, how is this the first time you've played King of Fighters?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, it's a damn good one that you chose. It's a really good one. I bought it for download ages ago and have thoroughly enjoyed it. But how?
I have no idea. I mean, to be fair, there is a lot that I've played, so I guess there's bound to be one or two that I've missed.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, overall, you would say if you have a 70 MB plus connection, and you live on your own and don't have like wife, kids, parents, what have you, also using the internet at the same time, go for this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe not.
The other problem with this as well, obviously, is if you're someone who's into live streaming, then you're not really going to be able to do that very well with PlayStation Now.
Yeah, I imagine if you start trying to stream the footage as you're streaming the gameplay, that's just going to kill everything, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Especially if like you're playing an online multiplayer game as well on that surface.
Okay, this is starting to get oddly specific. It's starting to get to the point of if you do if you willingly do everything possible to fuck it up, it will fuck up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. At the moment, I think it's a nifty thing now, but I don't think it's a standard yet. So I can't.
Let me put it this way: as of October, the cabinet that's 300 meters from the house should have fiber, and I should be able to get speeds of up to 88. Yeah. Now, bear in mind, the missus and the kids also use the internet in this household. The missus is addicted to Netflix. How I don't know if it's going to run okay for me, even once that happens.
Yeah.
Even once the fiber's here, because you're saying your parents went on Netflix and that was it. Forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Netflix on almost constantly because that's what the kids watch their TV shows through.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Glitter Force just keeps rolling over to the next damn episode.
Oh, yeah, season 2 of that. Was that recently?
I'm surprised you know that.
I watched it all. And
I have an excuse. I have a 4-year-old girl.
Yeah, I was kind of high.
Okay.
And it's happy and colourful.
While they hunt their glitter charms. Transform into a budget Sailor Moon by putting on makeup.
Pretty much, yeah.
I've got Maya watching proper Power Rangers, though.
Nice.
Yeah, I sat her down. I'm skipping the filler episodes. I'm just showing her, like, you know, oh, there's the introduction. Oh, that's when the Green Ranger joins. Oh, that's when the Green Ranger loses his powers. Oh, that's when the Green Ranger gets his powers back, sort of, but not really. Oh, that's when he loses his powers again. That's when he's back literally 3 episodes later as the White Ranger. And, like, or the destruction of all the Zords, you know. Oh, there's the introduction of Lord Zed. There's, you know. Yeah, Power Rangers is oddly interesting if you skip all of the Monster of the Week episodes and just watch the ones that are important to the ongoing plot.
I might have to rewatch it. I haven't watched it since, like, it was, you know, new.
Yeah, and it's all on there. And what surprised me is, like, I got to Zeo, and that's where I dropped off. And it's just weird seeing all this stuff, like, you know, new Rangers forming, but some of the old ones are still there. Rita and Zed have run away from the Machine Empire, but they're still kind of hanging around. It's like when you find a sequel that you've not seen before.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, kind of creepy. So we were talking about video games.
Yeah, so PlayStation Pro.
Yeah. PlayStation Pro will not feature any Power Rangers video games.
No, and it will not support 4K Blu-ray.
No, it will not.
Which is so
which Sony are trying to
stupid.
downplay. It's weird because Sony developed the Ultra HD Blu-ray discs.
Yeah, and they don't want to support them properly.
Yeah, it's like, this is your own invention, guys. You're manufacturing these things.
I mean, let's face it, when the PS3 first came out, it was a fucking shitstorm, and nobody bought it unless they were, like, a rich person that wanted a decent Blu-ray player.
Yeah, true. Admittedly, well, I would say the only reason I didn't go PlayStation 3 was because I wanted to play online multiplayer and the servers were separate and all my friends were on Xbox, so that didn't really give me a choice.
Yeah, but, like, when the PS3 first came out, what does it have? Resistance. That was it.
God, Resistance was shit.
Yeah. Oh, and Giant Enemy Crabs. Let's not forget that old meme.
Yeah.
God.
All you had to do was attack the weak spot for massive damage.
Yeah. And then Ridge Racer and all that stuff. So, yeah, Blu-ray was basically the thing that kind of kept PlayStation 3 afloat.
Well, yeah, sort of like the PlayStation 2 was a lot of people's first DVD player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, this PS4 Pro, it's basically just for 4K video, basically, really. Because, like, if you're into your games and you're into 4K gaming, chances are you probably got a PC with, like, an NVIDIA 1080 or something.
Okay, so let's backtrack a sec as well, because what they're actually saying you get with this is
Mm.
4K video streaming through YouTube and Netflix,
Yep.
and 4K gaming. Now, they admit that the 4K gaming isn't true 4K. A lot of it is upscaled 2K.
Mm.
So, like, Horizon, I forget the rest of the title, but it's Horizon something.
Zero Dawn.
Thank you. That will be 2160, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah, and then it will be upscaled to 4K. And there's also going to be different modes, so you don't necessarily have to have 4K. If you want, you can use the extra power to run it at 1080p 60,
Yeah.
or improve the textures, or there will be options, basically.
Mm.
Additionally, the ones that are going to be 4K, or at least simulated 4K, The Last of Us Remastered will run a simulated 4K, and there's that word simulated again, but it will be capped to 30 FPS to do that.
Mm.
So there are compromises.
Yeah, and another thing they kept plugging as well was HDR. They were saying, "Oh, this new feature, HDR," but HDR's been a thing for the last 10 years at least.
Yeah, it's a thing in PC monitors, not so much in TVs.
Mm.
So it's this weird thing where the PS4 Pro seems to be aiming at this hardcore sector of the market, and like you said, that hardcore sector of the market is already enjoying 4K and HDR on their gaming PCs that they've built.
Yeah, exactly. And not upscaled, but like true 4K at 60 FPS.
Yeah, I think maybe the only advantage that the PS4 Pro would have over a gaming PC is price, because this thing is coming out at £349, which is probably why they didn't put 4K Blu-ray on there, is simply because the drive costs versus what they're selling these at. They'd probably have to up it to 400 or so just to be able to have 4K Blu-rays.
You know what does support 4K Blu-ray? The Xbox One S.
And you know what costs £269? The Xbox One S. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking for a 4K video player, then chances are you're going to get an Xbox One S.
True. What surprised me, actually, Xbox One S, 2 terabyte hard drive, at least the initial release. PlayStation 4 Pro, 1 terabyte.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's supposedly the Pro model, but they're still using a 5400 RPM hard drive.
You see, what gets me is, mine came with a stock 500 gig when I got my first PS4. Well, my first PS4, my only PS4. I've still got the same one.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, touch wood, yada yada. So I upgraded that to a 2 terabyte drive, and I'm already using more than half of that drive.
Yeah, 1 terabyte is just not enough.
No, 500 gig was a joke.
1
terabyte, I'd have been uninstalling things all the time to reinstall other things. And on my connection with my download speed, I can't fucking keep swapping stuff.
Exactly.
2 terabyte, comfortable. It's going to run out eventually, but I'm comfortable. What you have to remember is that, Batman Arkham Knight is taking up something like 74 gig on its own.
Yeah.
That's insane. The Witcher 3 is taking up another 70 odd.
The thing that bugs me though is just the fact that it's just a standard hard drive though. Like the Xbox One Elite used a solid state hybrid drive to improve load times a bit. You remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you remember that model? The one that had the Elite controller included?
No, I don't at all. But then I
Right.
really don't follow what Microsoft do with the Xbox. Mainly because I'm like, well, I've got Windows 10, so kind of don't need you.
Pretty much, yeah. eBay definitely E3 definitely proved that this year.
Yeah, it's like Dead Rising 4. Well, I'll wait a year for the PS4 version with all the DLC, or just get the Windows 10 version.
Exactly. But yeah, no. So I mean, that was still a standard Xbox One console. Not like an upgraded version, but like even then, at least the hard drive they put in it was made to improve load times. Like when you're doing a pro version of a console and you're half-arsing it, I don't know. It just
Is
kind of
that
bugs
how
me.
you feel then, that they're half-assing?
I really do. The lack of 4K Blu-ray and the fact that it's just a standard hard drive and only 1 terabyte, I'm just not impressed by it in the slightest. And the look of it as well. It just looks like three PS4 layers like sandwiched on each other.
Oh yeah, it's like a triple decker now, isn't it?
Yeah, it just looks kind of naff.
Because it looks like a standard PlayStation 4, but for those who know the standard PlayStation 4, it's got that slit in the middle. Imagine a second one of those slits. That's basically what it looks like.
Pretty much. But yeah, if there was anything to get me to get a PS4, that thing is definitely not it.
Fair enough. What about the Slim?
Slim.
Well, I say the Slim. It's going to replace the PlayStation 4. It's not going to be known as the Slim. It'll just be known as the standard PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which was interesting. I thought that they're retiring the original model.
I'm not particularly surprised. I mean, they did that with the PS3 when they brought the slimmer version of that out.
Was it this early?
Well, it's been 3 years now.
Okay.
And I think it was actually about that same sort of time that they got rid of the old Spider-Man font PS3, about 3 years.
Oh, the toaster.
Yeah, the George Foreman.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember PS2 Slim that replaced the standard as well. So yeah, I'm not particularly surprised that they're doing that, but I get like £250. I guess it's a fair price because I mean that's sort of what they were selling the old PS4 for. But I can see that making the old PS4, the model that you got, being sold cheaper to get rid of excess stock, maybe.
Yeah, which would be, if anyone's been on the fence about buying one, this is where you're going to probably see the biggest reductions on that model. Especially if you don't like the look of the new PlayStation 4, which a lot of people have said it looks a bit too plain.
Yeah, I don't like the look of the Slim, really. I mean, if I was thinking about getting a PS4, I'd probably want to try and get the model that you got.
Yeah, because the new one looks a bit... well, the model that I've got was already replaced, because, you know, I've got the gloss finish on the hard drive case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they replaced that so that the whole console was matte.
Ah, see, I'd probably quite like the matte one. I prefer matte finish because gloss just attracts dust and stuff.
Fair enough. But,
Especially on
yeah,
black
so there's
consoles.
already been an iteration. But, yeah, this would be the time to pick one of those up cheaper, because stores will want them out to make room for the new one. But the new one just looks like... It looks like an indistinct set-top box.
Pretty much, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you'd get it confused with a Now TV box if you're not careful.
I don't know. I mean, Now TV boxes are freaking tiny.
Yeah, it's just like consoles. You know, if you look at a shelf from afar, most consoles stand out and are pretty obvious what they are. I just don't get that distinct feel from the new PS4.
Yeah, maybe that's by design. Maybe that's intentional.
Well, just to blend in and not really make an impression.
Yeah, maybe.
That's not the marketing. That's not the marketing goal of the PlayStation 4. That was your and my entire high school experience. Just try to blend in and hopefully no one will kick our ass.
Oh no, I wasn't that clever. I made a prat out of myself and then instantly regretted it every time, but continued to make that mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. You know me. I'm not subtle.
So you were the Nintendo.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you were trying to be TurboGrafx in the corner.
Or like a Jaguar. Yes. What's that? We're going on a field trip, right? Looks like I'm a Lynx for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a Game Gear if I feel a bit, a bit eccentric.
Oh god, I actually had one of the batteries for it that is meant to go on your belts and be rechargeable and stuff. And as hard as I would tighten up my belt, it would just be pulling, so I just have to hold on to it rather than put it on my belt.
Oh, Or just like put this rechargeable battery pack on your belt, and your trousers fall down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that sounds proper practical.
Yeah. Oh, that thing was not made for portability.
Then again, you look at the fucking Game Gear. Jesus.
Well, that's what I was saying, Game Gear.
Yeah, but the actual, not just the rechargeable
The
battery
thing
pack, the
itself,
actual
yeah.
console.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like the one I got from my father-in-law actually came in a case that's bigger than my laptop case.
Damn.
It's this huge, big plastic briefcase.
I'm off on a trip somewhere. I'll take an extra suitcase for my handheld.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like the 3DS XL. I love the thing, but I can't get it in my fucking pocket.
Really?
Seriously, I have to put it in the front pouch of my messenger bag.
Oh.
Now, if anyone ever mugs me, they have to go through the front pouch.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Vita as well. By the time I get that in its carry case, can't get it in my fucking pocket. They're too big. They want bigger screens, but then they've also got the tactile feedback of having actual physical buttons, which means it can't go in your pocket.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's why so many people were a bit bugged by the new 3DS, like, smaller version not coming out over here.
Yeah, we just got the XL and that's it.
Yeah.
They're fucking pointless.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's awkward on a bus, sitting around strangers, trying to get that in and out of your bag as well.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. This has everything to do with the PlayStation, by the way.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good point you bring up about the new 3DS, because, like, previously I tried out the demo of Hyrule Warriors Legends on my 3DS XL old version, and it ran at, like, 10 FPS. It was absolutely unplayable, even though it's released for all versions of the 3DS, not just 3DS, like, new 3DS. And I'm just wondering how much of this is going to happen with the PlayStation 4 Pro being a thing, that, like, the old PlayStation 4 is just going to see games performing horribly.
Well, the instructions from Sony, they seem to be quite clear on it several times throughout the press conference, is that it's, they're to develop the base game for the existing PlayStation 4 and then add on the Pro mode.
Yeah, but how many developers are going to stick to that?
True, it'll vary from developer to developer, but those are their instructions.
Yeah, I just see this going badly.
But you are a pessimist.
Well, no, it's just like I've observed the trends of the games industry, so I can see when this kind of thing is going to happen.
You've been burned before.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, just these semi-upgradable consoles. Like it goes against the whole point of consoles, which is just to buy a single platform and be like, okay, this says this says this, I can play it. Like, people that want to tinker about with different hardware variations and all that kind of stuff, they're playing PCs. I'm playing a PC.
See, what worries me is they've said that all PlayStation 4 games will be compatible with the base PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
That's fine. What happens when the PlayStation 4 Pro gets upgraded by something else? What happens when the PlayStation 4 Pro Plus sounds
Pro
like
Plus.
medicine now?
Yeah.
When the Pro Plus comes out, well, all games will support the Pro and the Pro Plus, but the base can go fuck itself.
Ugh. Yeah.
That's what I foresee.
Exactly.
And I'm very cynical.
Yeah, it's just when anything that can potentially split the user base, it's.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's going to cause the most confusion for, and this is a market that it makes the most money from, soccer mums going into game and being like, yeah, my son wants one of those PlayStation things.
Yeah, I remember when I was working at a retail store and I got
name game, it's fine.
I suppose I could, yeah.
Any NDA you signed is probably null and void the second you left.
True.
What are they going to do? Fire you?
Yeah, true. And someone asked me about a Nintendo Xbox.
You got one of those Nintendo Xboxes.
Yeah, it's this elderly woman, and it turns out she was buying it for herself at the end.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she was American, I'd be thinking, was that Shirley Curry? But yeah, and people were getting really confused about the fact that, like, you know, there's 1 terabyte models and 500 gig models of PlayStation 4, and they'd literally be asking me what's the difference. Like, yeah, just simple things like hard drive capacity is enough to confuse potential consumers.
Yeah, and then you got the whole. Remember the shitstorm when you had the DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, and the DSi XL.
Yep.
Like, that was enough to piss people off.
Yeah. Oh, well, we got that with 3DS. We got 3DS, 3DS XL, new 3DS, and 2DS.
Yeah, true. And outside of Europe, they also have the new 3DS normal size and new 3DS XL.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas we've just got, it's the XL, but we're not going to put XL on the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Nintendo. Making us a priority again.
Yeah, so I mean, when it just comes to sort of like, because I can see them thinking down the line, oh hey, let's just like make an add-on for this as well, and we all know what happens with add-ons.
Hi, Circle Pad Pro.
Yeah,
How you feeling?
Hi, Kinect.
Oh, God. Hi, PlayStation Camera. There's a new PlayStation Camera coming out to coincide with this fucking PlayStation Pro, by the way.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, and the PlayStation VR. So, like, well, we're bringing out the PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation Slim, the PlayStation VR. Let's replace the PlayStation Camera. Now it's like this cylindrical-looking thing.
Oh, yeah, what about the light that they've added to the controller as well at the front?
It seems weird to me. By the way, I brought us back round full circle quite nicely there. I'm quite impressed by that. Enough to call myself out on it. The light's annoying. I already know people who put stickers over the lights on a normal DualShock 4 because they hate seeing the reflection of the light in the TV while they're playing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've certainly considered it. And to have the slit on the controller, okay, I get it so that you can just look down for that information instead of flipping the controller up. But I've never known the controller to have information that I've needed mid-game. You know, that light has never served a purpose for me. It tells you who's who in a multiplayer game, that's about it. But if you can't remember whether you're player 1 or player fucking 2, then you need a lobotomy, not a little light on your controller.
Yeah, I think Xbox 360 controllers did it right.
Oh yeah, with just different bits of the circle lighting up. That was absolutely fine.
Yeah, it was simple and easy, and I don't know why the hell they stopped doing that with the Xbox One controllers, for that matter.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, it's just the light on the button itself.
So, how do you tell now which player you are on a wireless controller on Xbox One?
Fuck knows.
Okay. Like, even the DualShock 3, you got one little red light that would be in one of 4 different positions. And did anyone ever need any more than that? Did anyone ever fucking complain? No. All that's going to happen now is, as well as reflecting back off your TV, it's going to light up your gormless chin.
Yeah.
It's going to expose the fact that I now have 2 chins. That's it. I'm getting old.
We are so fucking cynical.
Like you said, the video game industry has burned us several times.
Yeah, remember the 32X, just going back to add-ons.
No, I don't remember the 32X. For the reason it was largely forgettable and unsupported.
Yeah.
I think the last add-on that was actually fucking useful was this magnifying screen I had for my Game Boy Color, which also had built-in light. Car Journeys, brilliant. It lit the screen up and made it bigger.
The last add-on I can think of that was good was the Game Boy Player.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even have that.
I I had it. It was great.
I've got a Super Game Boy kicking around here somewhere because I forgot to sell it when I sold my Super Nintendo.
All right.
So I've got a Super Game Boy and no Super Nintendo to use it with. I might just chuck it on eBay.
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, I got no use for the damn thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a fully functional Game Boy on the inside because the Super Nintendo didn't have enough power to emulate the Game Boy, so they put all the Game Boy's innards in the Super Game Boy.
I wonder what the Game Boy Player consisted of. Whether that's like a Game Boy Advance inside.
Maybe just then taking advantage of the video output of the GameCube and not actually running anything through the GameCube itself. It's possible.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually because of the Game Boy Player that every Zelda game up to Twilight Princess is playable on a GameCube.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you think there's the Zelda Collector's Editions that had 1, 2, Ocarina, and Majora's. There's,
Even then, you still had one on the Game Boy Classics for GBA.
exactly. Link to the Past was on GBA as well.
Right.
And then obviously you got Wind Waker and Twilight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Although, actually, I guess if you count the Philips CDI games, then I guess you can't play them all on the GameCube.
Nobody counts the CDI games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
So,
I think you might be safe.
yeah. So, yeah, every Zelda game up to Twilight Princess.
Fucking hell. That's quite impressive.
Mm.
On one machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot damn.
I mean, hell,
So,
at one point, like nearly every good Sonic game as well.
hmm. So we're asking ourselves a lot of questions here. I believe Kishoro Guy has asked us some questions for the first time in a while, actually.
You motherfucker.
Segways, bitch. And also we owe him an apology because he posted these on episode 30, but by the time he posted them, we'd already recorded episode 31.
Mm.
So these are a little late. Just double check while we're recording this that he hasn't posted any more on episode 31, would you?
Yeah, I'll do that. While I do that, do you want to go
I'll
with
read
the first
out the
question?
first question that he put on episode 30, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what do you consider to be the best Humble Bundle you've ever bought? He gives his answer as saying that he's only gotten one. That was Humble Bundle 17. And aside from one title, The Beginner's Guide, he'd say the rest of the games he got for it were really good. I assume he meant to put good, because what he actually wrote was, the rest of the games I got for it were really got.
Ah,
Yeah,
probably autocorrect.
yeah, I assume he means good.
Yeah.
So he didn't like The Beginner's Guide, which puts him at odds with you. I can't even
Yeah.
remember what was in Humble Bundle 17, but
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, I can't remember because I got it just for the beginner's guide, and that's the only one I played from it. I freaking loved that game. It admittedly is very pretentious, but then it's to be expected with the kind of game it is.
I'm trying to think what's actually been on Humble Bundles, because the most recent one I bought was the Humble PlayStation Bundle, which involved creating a US PlayStation account.
Oh, the Capcom one.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good when you
That
get
was-
down to it.
that
What you
was
got
really
for the
good.
11 quid?
That was really good, but I'm not going to name that as my favourite because they screwed over the UK by like not letting us have it.
Well, unless we did things we weren't supposed to be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just did the things I wasn't supposed to do.
I mean, the first one I remember ever getting, it had Super Meat Boy and it had Cave Story Plus in it.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, so that was
No, I'm going to open up my emails because I should have the receipts from previous Humble Bundles, and that should tell me what was on them.
yeah. Oh, that's the point. Well, I could just go on my Humble Bundle account and just look on there.
Yeah, I could do that. That would be easier.
Let's see.
A Humble Bundle. The Game Maker bundle, the original one was pretty good. So that gave me the Game Maker engine, as well as a number of games which you had the source code file versions, like the source codes for Spelunky,
Oh yeah.
things like that.
Let's see what else. There was a pretty decent Namco Bandai one that had like Dark Souls and Enslaved and Ridge Racer Unbounded in it.
Oh, I might have missed that one.
Huh.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
There was a Sid Meier bundle ages ago that had like a ton of Civ games in it.
Oh, I got that one. I
Yeah.
definitely got that one.
Yeah.
What was in the Codemasters bundle?
I think it was like Dirt Games and Grid Games.
I remember why I got it. It had Overlord in it.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was that one. Um, there's a Sierra bundle at the moment, which, if you like, adventure games, is pretty decent. Lots of King's Quest.
Mm. There was a there was a Capcom bundle for PC a while back that had Strider, Resident Evil Revelations, Resident Evil 4 HD, DMC, the new Devil May Cry.
Oh, did I get that one then? Maybe
Maybe.
that sounds like the kind of thing I would have gone in for. But let me see. Steam. What's in my library? Yes, Steam. That's still my current fucking email address.
There was a Humble Borderlands bundle a while back that had quite a few of them in it.
Don't think I got that one.
Yeah, I just got the low tier one that just had Borderlands 1 and like 3 of the DLCs.
Okay. Oh, the Sega bundle.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much all the Sonics for PC.
That was really good.
Yeah, and I think it had the racing games in there as well. Sega Racing and Transformed.
Yeah.
I'm doing that a lot today.
All Stars Racing Transformed on PC is just bloody beautiful.
Oh, apparently I have Burnout Paradise on PC. You know, the shit one.
Yeah.
Oh, Dead Space 1 and 2. I've got Condemned. Criminal Origins. That must have been in the Sega bundle. Yeah.
Oh, there was a Warner Brothers one a while back that had, let's see, the first three.
Telltale Walking Dead, Wallace and Gromit, episodes 1 to 4, Sam and Max. Yeah, I bought that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Warner Brothers, the original Arkham games, all the Fear games, Scribblenauts Unlimited. So that was pretty good.
I have all of those, so I assume I picked that one up too. Yeah, there's Scribblenauts Unlimited, and I wouldn't have bought that separately, so...
Yeah. Oh, I remember when there was that Humble Origin bundle a while back, because that was like one of the first ones that was, a big name publisher, like rather than indie games.
Right.
Because that was basically what changed them from being known as Humble Indie Bundles to just Humble Bundles.
Okay.
So that one had like Battlefield 3, Command and Conquer Red Alert 3, Dead Space 1 and 3. Missed out 2 for some reason.
I probably skipped that one because it required Origin.
Yeah, I don't know why people like rag on Origin so much. It's like it's not that big of a deal to have like one little extra program that takes like nothing in terms of resources.
I've got so many fucking logins and clients these days.
Yeah, well, that's why I just let it auto sign in.
Yeah, but if I ever forget that password or change my machine, I'm fucked.
I guess.
I just don't want to do it. I'm lazy.
I know,
I notice all of the reasons I'm giving are about me, not about Origin.
Yeah, it's just that thing where people moan about Origin, but then they give Steam a free pass. But it's like, if you think to what Steam was like before it is what it is now, it was much worse than Origin.
I already had Steam, though.
Yeah, I know, but just because it comes first doesn't mean that it's more acceptable that it does what it does, than like anyone else.
Yeah, but if I'm putting up with it once, I'm not going to start putting up with it twice.
I know, but like that's not, again, like you just said, it's a criticism. Well, it's not even a criticism, it's just a comment on yourself more than a criticism against Origin.
And I accept that, but I'm still not getting Origin.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you should get Origin. I'm just saying, like, in just general, like, people moan about Origin for reasons that are kind of bullshit.
Right. So to answer Kashora's question, I'm going to go with... I'm not going to go with the Sega bundle. I'm going to go with the PlayStation Capcom bundle.
I'm not going to go for that because screw them for making me have to get another account.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Humble Indie Bundle 4 just because like that was sort of one of the better indie bundles back when they were just Humble Indie Bundles. And that was the one I said that had Super Meat Boy and Cave Story Plus in it. I'm actually looking at it right now. It had Shank in it as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Bit Trip Runner too, and another game called And Yet It Moves. And I don't know, it's just
Wait, Shank was in it as well. I
Yeah.
think I might have bought that one too.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was just sort of one of the last ones that had the true sort of spirit of like the humble indie bundles, like a bunch of indie devs coming together and be like, "Hey, let's do this thing for charity," and like then the big names get into it and they're just like, "Oh, hey, let's get ourselves some publicity."
Apparently, I own a game on Steam called Spoiler Alert,
Nice.
and have done since the 18th of the 9th, 2015.
Oh, bloody hell.
Don't remember this at all.
From what you tell me, it sounds like your Facebook feed.
Hey!
Oh, by the way, I've checked and there's no questions on 31. There's a comment from Nort Mugen, though, saying the identity of the man on fire in Metal Gear Solid 5 means nothing to the overall story. It's just a throwaway shoehorn.
It was kind of... They just sort of went, "Oh, it's this person." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah."
And then someone responded with, "It's a shame that Konami are just throwing away their best franchises." It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck Konami.
Fuck them right up their fucking asses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we go on to question 2 then? Because you've chosen the PlayStation one, I've gone with Humble Indie Bundle 4.
Oh yeah, the question's answered. Let's move on.
Yeah, but I really
Yeah,
think you should try the beginner's guide, Sam.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Add
Yeah.
it to the list.
Yeah.
It's a long list. So, what is your favorite comic series that's based off of a video game character apart from Sonic the Comic?
I haven't really got an answer for this one. I'll leave this to you.
Alright, number 1, you bastard. You took Sonic the Comic away from me. Udon Street Fighter comics are extremely good. Read those if you haven't already. There's a dot hack manga called Legend of the Twilight, which is pretty decent. Video game comics. The Kingdom Hearts manga's pretty good. You know, the art style's a little more childlike than I'd like, but it's serviceable.
Yeah.
The Pokemon Adventures manga, again, very, very good.
Oh, shit, yeah, that is really good.
Oh, yeah. There's a Ratchet and Clank mini-series, which is alright. The majority of the Resident Evil comics are garbage. The Top Cow Tomb Raider comics are very hit and miss. You get some good ones and then some not so good ones, but it's sort of the same people that were doing Witchblade at the same time they were doing Witchblade, and then they had a weird crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a review on it, actually.
Oh.
Lara looks like a twig. She could be snapped in half at the middle. It looks like her spine shouldn't be able to support her boobs.
Oh.
Gail Simone did a much, much better job on the Tomb Raider comics that were based around the reboot game. It's sort of supposed to bridge the gap between Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Those were pretty decent.
Yeah.
There are some Assassin's Creed comics which I picked up recently as part of like a digital bundle. Haven't read them yet, but they look like they might be okay. Sonia Leong did one of the variant covers, and Sonia's always a good egg, so
Yeah.
there's that. Yeah, the majority of Resident Evil comics suck. Valve Presents I haven't properly read through yet, but so far so good. It's like short stories based on like Team Fortress and Portal and shit.
Wow, I should have known about that. I need to check that out.
Yeah. I'll let you know where you can get it after the cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Archie Sonic the Hedgehog and Archie Sonic Universe because you only specified the British Fleetway Egmont Sonic the comic, so haha, technicality. Oh, you know, there's quite a few good ones. I'm just trying to think of a favorite though. If I had to go favorite, it'd probably be the first one I mentioned, which is the Udon Street Fighter comics. They're that good.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading on a monthly basis Street Fighter Unlimited, which is the current one. I'm reading that in single issues as it comes out.
All right.
Yeah, very, very punchy. And actually, the art style of that then caught me onto an indie guy called Chris Imber, who does a comic called The Last Sheriff. He's got a style that would sit right at home in those Udon comics.
Yeah.
turns out his indie book is really, really good. I got to meet him for the first time at Melksham a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my answer for that one. Were there any in there that I mentioned that you've read? Because I think one of the mangas you went, oh yeah, that's good. Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Adventure. Yeah, I guess
Pokemon's had like 20 different comics. There's been like the Electric Pikachu Boogaloo.
I think I read up to about Yellow, and then I just kind of stopped.
Yeah, I'm told the Gold and Silver arc is really good, but I have to get through Yellow to get to it.
Do you need to know the information from Yellow to be able to know what's going on with Gold and Silver?
Apparently, I need to know what happened to Red.
Right.
And I'm struggling with the Yellow volumes because they aren't the highlight of the series, and everyone tells me just persevere through Yellow.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of gives me this, look, I know, okay? I know about Yellow. I'm with you. But if you get through that...
I might try and push through then.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I was reading scans online, admittedly, because, like, I don't know, I was sort of dipping my toe in, thinking, like, I don't want to make a big financial investment in something I might not properly get into, and because
I can join you on that. I've got the books, I've got the physical books, the official releases, but I did a count of how much manga I have. Just manga, not counting US comics and graphic novels, I have over 500 books.
Damn.
I mean, 42 of those are Dragon Ball, admittedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I was reading varied translations, and it kept swapping back and forth between which one was green and which one was blue.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, so when they're not, like, on there, but just being talked about, you're just like, oh shit, which one do they mean? You kind of got to work it out.
Pretty sure the Viz one goes with green for the girl and blue for the rival.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was on the same website, but they had just different varied uploads.
Right, okay.
And
I think I know the website you mean, but
Yeah.
for various reasons, I'm not going to ask you on the podcast if that's the website you mean.
I wouldn't remember anyway.
Okay. Always support the official release, folks.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good reason to, so you know who the fuck the characters are talking about.
Yeah. So that you get a consistent translation.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we shouldn't swear on YouTube.
Oh, don't get me started on those fucking rules. Apparently, they're not even new rules. It's just that they've started enforcing them now, which is great. Way to be consistent.
And by enforcing, just using a really badly made auto thing.
Oh, yeah, it's all autonomous. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, trust a robot to handle something subjective. I can't go wrong. I can never go wrong.
Yeah. But on that note, cunt. Just say that it's there.
Right. Big floppy cunt who just got fucking apprehended for raping.
Ugh.
Well, no, one guy who was just talking about rape and how to support people that have been victims of rape had his video flagged for discussing the controversial subject of rape, even though he was talking about it in a supportive, this is the impact it has on people and this is how we need to raise awareness and, positive, proactive shit.
Oh, well done, YouTube.
Yeah, that got demonetized.
Well, on that note, if we have any problems with YouTube, we also have our own audio archive. Plug.
Hey!
Yeah, the link is in the description.
We're not nowhere near the level of the guys who, make their living and shit off of YouTube.
Oh, God, no, but it's...
And anyone who says that's inherently risky, me working full-time as a salaried employee for a company is risky. I can still get made redundant. The company can still go under.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's redundancies going on all over the fucking country right now with, like, loads and loads of massive businesses, so anything you do is risky.
Yeah. So saying, oh, you knew the risk when you joined up and started making your money through YouTube. Making your money through anything carries risk.
Exactly. So, fuck you if you have that attitude.
Exactly. Right. So, question 3. We will get through these.
Yeah. I apologise. I'm slightly hungover today.
It's fine. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it really has.
And I went out on one of my rare nights of socializing last night, so I'm not 100%. I've got a real craving for cheese.
Yeah, me too. I just want. Actually, no, I've got a real craving for noodles, and it's one of those times where I'm really happy I
Oh,
live in the city centre, so I'm within walking distance of noodle places.
I want grated cheese on top of noodles.
Oh man. Oh no, actually, I want pasta and cheese now.
Oh, how are you doing to me? You
We.
know I live in a rural village where on Sundays the village shop, which has limited stuff anyway, is only open 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
Those are your time. Oh, I've got ice cream in the freezer.
We sound like a pair of stoners.
Me and the missus had an ice cream and movie night on Friday, and she picked all hers, but I didn't finish mine, so I've got ice cream.
Nice.
It's cookie dough.
Oh, damn! I need to go get some.
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's cookie. Right, we'll wrap up this last question so you
Yeah.
can go get some cookie dough. Um, so, what are some of your favorite pieces of media that were either exclusive to the UK or were really popular over here? I don't know if it was exclusive to the UK. I'm pretty sure it got shown elsewhere, but
Oh yeah.
Bottom was amazing.
I'm su-
Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson.
I'm sure that got showed elsewhere.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and by extension, the young ones.
yeah, I can't really think of anything that would have been exclusive, like to the UK.
Share. We tend to share mainly
Yeah,
because we realise the rest of the world is much bigger than us, and they have money too.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I
My
guess.
least favourite thing that does seem to be exclusive to the UK and can fuck off at any time it wants, Theresa fucking May.
Ugh. Yeah, and Brexit.
Did you just tell Brexit to fuck off out of the UK? You realise the irony in that statement?
Yeah. I want leavers to leave.
Oh dear. Right.
I don't know.
Okay, now we sound high.
I guess when it comes to media stuff, I'm just thinking games again because hey, we're gamers, obviously.
This is a gaming podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like there were probably a load of ZX Spectrum games that like probably never made outside the UK. You know, like little quirky games from like old computers from like the 80s and 90s.
I'm thinking stuff like Dizzy.
Oh yeah.
Because like I think Dizzy made it international, but Dizzy was UK. It was a pair of UK twins
Hmm.
behind Dizzy, and Lionhead Studios behind Fable and Broken Promises, UK based.
Yeah.
Rocksteady, Batman Arkham Asylum, they were UK based originally. Rockstar North,
Hmm. Oh,
yeah.
going back to comedies again because you said bottom. I wish America would stop fucking trying to copy our comedies like In Between as an IT crowd.
And The Office. They tried to do The Office as well.
Apparently, The Office went down okay though.
Oh, okay.
But then Steve Carell, you know, he's just a funny fucker.
Fair enough.
Besides, to be fair, can you really fuck up something by Ricky Gervais? Like Ricky Gervais's presence fucks things up anyway.
True.
Like seriously, I don't see his appeal. Like so many people find him hilarious, but like he laughs at his own jokes all the fucking time, and like his presence just makes things unfunny. Like there was this film
He's
called
a bit of a prick.
yeah, there was this film called The Invention of Lying, which had all the right things that it should have been hilarious. I mean, for fuck's sake, it had Jonah Hill making really dark suicide jokes. You know, Jonah Hill is a funny fucker.
It was like a darker spiritual successor to Liar Liar in a lot of ways.
It really was, but
Yeah.
oh.
And then Gervais ruined it.
Yeah, and he's such a prick to Carl Pilkington as well. Like, anytime I see him and the other guy chatting to Carl Pilkington, they're just basically bullying him. Like, it's not fucking funny, it's just awkward.
Shit.
Yeah.
The idiot abroad guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, UK things. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cadbury, you fucking took Cadbury, you bastards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cadbury is now a US entity. Fuck you.
Yeah. But, no, IT Crowd, I think, is probably my favourite comedy.
I wouldn't stretch to favourite. It's certainly up there.
Yeah. What'd your favourite be?
That's a fucking question.
Like your favourite sitcom?
Oh, dear. That is a question.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of things.
Uh,
No, you know me. My sense I don't laugh at a lot of things.
fair
Like,
play.
the most many comedies get out of me is sort of maybe a smile for half a second. Yeah, probably this is going to sound really immature now, but probably Rowan Atkinson and Mr. Bean.
Fair play.
Yeah,
It's classic. It's a staple.
it doesn't rely on words either.
Yeah, that's true.
It's physical humor, which I don't know seems to get me more than witty banter.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess with IT
Mock
Crowd,
the Week is back. Mock the Week was back on Friday night. I need to catch up on that.
yeah. Oh, you know what I really need to get around to watching is Peep Show. I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes and laughed my fucking ass off at it. I don't know why I've not watched more. I think it's all on Netflix as well.
Yeah, all 6 seasons. I've binge watched it.
Yeah.
I ended up with a theme tune to that on my MP3 player for ages.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, that's. I guess mostly comedies is the
Yeah.
answer to that question.
yeah, comedies and quirky little games.
Yeah. And he's asked the same thing but swapped around, replaced the UK with Asia. I don't really know what's exclusive to Asia.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that originates from Asia that I'm interested in ended up coming out here, as evidenced by the overwhelming amount of Dragon Ball shit I own.
Exactly. I'm just trying to.
I guess Asia are getting a physical re-release of Dead Rising.
I was about to say Boku no Hero Academia, but then that got a dub.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia.
Oh, Dragon Quest Heroes 2. We've only got Dragon Quest Heroes 1. We don't have Dragon Quest Heroes 2, but it's been out in Japan, apparently, since May.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I can import a Japanese copy if I feel like spending 60-odd quid. I don't.
No, don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's annoying.
Have you watched My Hero Academia yet, by the way, Sam?
No.
Oh, you should. I think you'd like it.
Probably.
I mean, it's
Put it on the list.
yeah, it's Japan doing comic book style superheroes. Like,
Move it up the list a little bit.
yeah, and it's like a whole school where they're like training to be him, and like it centers around the main character who's like born in this world where people have like these quirks, but he doesn't, and he's like, but I want to be a hero too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you one I read recently that you'd probably like.
Oh.
I read the graphic novel of All You Need Is Kill. It's the artist who did Death Note and Bakuman.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh. It's fucking beautiful. It's based on a Japanese novel,
Hmm.
and you've got an army recruit, complete greenhorn, goes into battle against these invading aliens called mimics, dies, and then wakes up 24 hours before the battle with all his memories intact, and he's caught in a time loop.
Shit.
Yeah, so he keeps dying, going back into the same fight and dying again. He starts just trying. It's like if he had a quick save in
Whoa.
like a video game. So he keeps going back, and because he remembers what worked and what didn't last time, he changes what he does.
Shit.
Yeah, and then he meets another person that's this girl called Rita, who I can't say too much about.
Yeah.
All I will say is he meets this girl and she knows about the time loop,
Wow.
and it gets interesting from there.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I bought that on a whim in Bristol.
Huh.
Yeah, I just went, you know what, I need to change of scenery, hopped on a train to Bristol. That was one of the things I came home with. It was the same weekend that I bought that Sonic the Hedgehog statue from that 8-bit planet that's opened up in Bristol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I read that. The following weekend, my mother came to visit.
Hmm.
And we were just trying to find a film on Netflix, and she settled on this one called Live, Die, Repeat.
Huh.
And I laughed when it started, going, ha! The title of that, it sounds like this comic I've just read. Turns out it's a fucking adaptation.
Seriously.
Yeah, same characters, and it has a different ending, but yeah, it's the same premise. They
That's on
changed the main
Netflix.
character from a greenhorn to a guy who was like in the army's media and PR department.
Okay.
But they demote him and ship him off to the front line, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they changed that, but yeah, it's the same. The main guy in it is the guy who was what's his name? He was in Mission Impossible.
Tom
Main
Cruise.
guy in Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise.
Huh.
Yeah, Tom Cruise stars in it. Live, die, repeat.
Is it otherwise known as Edge of Tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right, I'm adding this to my watch list now.
Okay. And the graphic novel, like you can get the whole thing in a one-shot and done book, and I think it was $9.99
Oh,
for the whole thing. It's like 200 odd pages.
damn.
The artwork's by the Death Note guy. I was just like, you know what? I'm fucking sold. I just looked at the art, read the blurb on the back. I was like, yeah, this is coming to the checkout with me right the fuck now. It was great. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Looper.
Looper?
Yeah, it's this Bruce Willis and what's his face? He was fake Robin in Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
And he was in 10 Things I Hate About You. What was his name? That's gonna bug me.
He was the guy who wasn't Heath Ledger.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, basically, it's in this world where like you're like a trained killer, go back in time and kill people, and then like your last hit is your past self.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so like Bruce Willis is the old version, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the young version.
That's really weird.
Yeah,
We heard about the graphic novel club that I'm in. You get a choice of 3 books, and one of the books this month was Infinite Vacation,
oh yeah,
which I didn't read. I picked Saga because, it was the only one I'd heard of on the list. Even though the point of this whole thing is to read things that I otherwise would not have tried. But when everyone else was talking about Infinite Vacation, I started thinking that maybe I'd made the wrong choice, and I should have gotten that one instead.
oh
Basically, you buy tickets to visit alternate realities.
oh
Yeah, so you sit there on this app, and you put in, like, what if things had worked out with that chick from high school?
huh.
What if I'd have dropped out of college and started that surf shack with my buddies?
Wow.
Yeah, at one point, there's a girl at a bar, and he puts in, what if I go and talk to her?
Yeah.
And apparently she comes over and slaps him, like, don't use a fucking app for that. Just come over and talk to me, you ballless prick. You know?
Okay, I want to read that.
Yeah. Infinite Vacation. Give it a look. Sounds like your kind of thing. You might also get a kick out of Joe's been going through this old box set of hers, Sliders. They keep going through different like timelines or realities, and they're trying to get back to their own one.
Oh, I think I've heard of that. I think that might actually be on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got it on DVD somewhere.
Sliders.
Yeah, there's a lot of existential alternate reality stuff just cropping up at the moment.
Yeah. A lot of escapism.
Oh, yeah. Well, who can blame anyone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this was about video games
Yep.
at some point. So we've answered all of Kashara Guy's questions.
Yep.
There are no more questions from anyone else at the present time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that is shout-outs and sign-offs, then.
Yeah. Because I recommended My Hero Academia, I'll give a shout out to my buddy Lee, who recommended it to me first.
Okay.
Yeah. He
Good
also
job.
he also recommended another one that I won't go into detail at because we're wrapping up, called Assassination Classroom, where it's this weird octopus alien creature who's like the teacher of this class, and like they're tasked with the job of killing him, but like he's the best teacher they've ever had, so they kind of form a bond.
Okay. That sounds weird.
It does sound weird, but at the same time, like when you're watching it, it feels less weird once you sort of get into it. It's like, it just you get pulled into the suspension of disbelief, basically.
Okay, you get over it, essentially.
Yeah, it's not one of those things where the whole time you're thinking, "Oh, this is weird." You sort of see it at first, it's like, "That looks kind of silly," and then you get more into it. It's like, "Oh,
Fair enough.
yeah,
I'm going to give a shout out to Richie again. Hope you're enjoying your holiday.
yeah."
Hope to see you soon.
He sounded a bit venomous. I was like, "Hope you're enjoying your holiday."
No, that was supposed to be genuine.
I know, I'm busting your balls.
Okay, good. I don't really have any other shout outs this week.
So shout outs.
Yeah. Okay, and with that, thank you for joining us. Have a great day, people, and we'll see you next time.